my little sheet with me. I think I left it somewhere over there. I would be able to tell you what the teams are.
Are you actually pointing to a real sheet?
No.
Pointing to this?
Yes. So it is some teams that we've got. Oh yeah, Worth It Institution versus Foreskins. So on the left is Worth It Institution, and on the right is Foreskins. Morgana Cassidy being banned, Jin Zhao and Jarvan. So right off the bat, I'm going to go ahead and assume that Team Foreskins, their mid lane player is pretty good, I'm going to assume.
The support of the side lanes, do they kind of curve at the end as well?
Yes.
Alright, I get it.
Actually, no, that's not what I was...
Wow, you said yes!
The bans! What are you talking about?
Right,
Morgana and Cassidy are out of the picture, so their mid lane being targeted down that hard right off the bat makes me assume that they have a good mid laner.
Yep, foreskin jokes all day. That's all we're going to do. But yeah, I mean, you're quite right. Morgana Cassidy out. Who is their mid player, I wonder? We're going to have to take a look at their most played champs. But in terms of everything, like, I haven't really seen a targeted Morgana ban in what seems like months.
Yeah, she used to be a really big deal. Actually, she was a big deal for a long time. I think she still is. She's going to be like one of those champions, basically, that just is going to kind of float around. She's super, super good at one point. She dies down a little bit, but she's never really bad. Kind of like Jace did for a while. He was super good, died down, and then people are playing him again because he's not bad.
It's not bad, but yeah, I don't know. It feels like an older meta kind of idea. But okay, whatever. Vide going to get banned out as well. Big tip off to the jungler. Definitely a Vi can really ruin your day. A lot of CC later on into the game when she does have her locket or cool down her Warmogs. It's like, oh, damn, she hurts.
Yeah.
And there's an Elise out there as well.
Actually, with Elise, Vi, Jin Zhao, and Jarvan being banned, that's actually, I would say that the top three junglers out there right now are Vi, Jin Zhao, and Jarvan. Elise can get the job done pretty well as well, so these might be actually 3 target bans on the jungler. Cho'Gath, in my opinion, this is just my kind of, you know, if I were Elements making a tier list, this would be my tier list in terms of jungles.
No Lee Sin.
No, I think Lee Sin has fallen off quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Lee Sin was overtaken by Jin Zhao. Jin Zhao is like almost like a better Lee Sin in my opinion.
Good.
So, yeah, so I'm curious to see who they're going to go with in the jungle. With this many bans coming out, though, actually Amumu and Malphite are still open. Could be viable. So is Hecarim, though, actually. Hecarim is one of my top choices as well, so could be seeing him, but it's looking like actually Nocturne is going to be going down here for Worth It Institution.
Waiting for the last lock-in. Nocturne and Sona. They're going to be locked in. Now, you know, you were mentioning some of the bans previous games. Hecarim, Amumu, they've been up there, but Shen's actually fallen through the cracks here. Now with Nocturne, that semi-global range out in the jungle, we could respond in kind by actually getting a real global range. Just kind of counter that out. At the same time, Twisted Fate's still up there. So is the Pantheon. We've seen him a little bit earlier today. And you know, we do have a Nunu on the board for Team Foreskin. That could lead into jungle. We've seen that now once, but, you know, again, old school kind of bans into old school kind of picks. Kog'Maw Nunu used to be a big terror when M5 introduced it.
Yeah, and I think it still can be extremely good. Kog'Maw obviously is going to be able to burst people down when he gets to the late game. Also, when you level up that W, he will have a longer auto attack range than anyone in the game. He's actually got the longest attack range in the whole game when it comes into late game. So he'll still be very good with that Nunu. Of course, Nunu nerfs do hurt quite a bit, but Olaf and Zed being picked up here, so probably going to be an Olaf jungle because of how many other junglers were banned out.
I'm more inclined to say top lane because I don't really feel that he has too much of a place in the jungle because of the nerfs on his undertow. He doesn't have that penetration anymore. I mean, it kind of really hurts his ganking potential. And we've been seeing, as you said, you know, a lot of these bans are those big hard stops for the jungle. So I'm still going to cling to Shen.
All right, we're thinking a Shen's going to come out here. My guess is going to be Olaf in the jungle, and they still have yet to pick their mid laner. I've seen a lot of Zed top. He can certainly go mid, which I'm sure he'll be forced to do unless he takes the jungle role, but I'm going to stick with that prediction for now, Mr. Forecourt.
Okay, well, we got a few seconds left here on the clock to find out exactly what we are going to have in store. Something to note, though, I mean, this is on live server, and we saw a whole bunch of games before the tournament where people were playing Quinn. There's down in the featured games. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there. Haven't seen a single Quinn today.
No, I don't think people are like they're taking it seriously now. We saw kind of a Trollsy game on the French stream earlier where it was like Blitz or Nami mid, Blitz jungle, all this weird stuff. But I think that was because they were confident that they were going to win.
Yeah,
so,
that was very atypical. For
yes.
Sure.
So this time around, it's going to be a little bit different. Actually, Fizz might be going towards that top lane there. So this will be interesting. I think it's going to be an Evelynn mid, Fizz top. And we have yet to see. This is going to be the deciding factor. Are they going to pick a jungler, a top laner, or a mid lane?
Yep.
It could go either way.
A lot of options. It's those ambiguous picks. Pantheon, it might come out to counter out that Nocturne. As I said, we've seen Pantheon. Game number 1 was a Pantheon. A bit, he didn't do that great in the top lane, but hey, he still came out. I definitely remember watching its beginning of Season 3, Wings of Death stream, where he'd forsake all his boots, just get pure penetration. By 35 minutes in, he picks up the boots, but he's like 15-0.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it's a good way to go, and I still really think that Zed and Pantheon are interchangeable. More likely than not, though, we're going to see Pantheon mid, Zed top, and, oh, no. We got
Damn.
Got a lever.
Now, that might have been a placeholder.
Yes, it could have been.
Could have been. So we're not entirely too sure. Maybe our French compadres can actually tell us. Placeholder. Cho'Gath equals something. Cho'Gath was banned, I thought. Eve equals Graves.
Nice.
Yeah, so we did have some placeholders going out there. Eve equals Graves. Okay. So that kind of changes things around. So, yeah, we didn't actually have an ADC, if you think about it, in that lineup.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they had Cho'Gath, and then Nocturne Sona, and then Eve's Fizz. Would have been a very strange kind of combination, especially here when we're not in that highest tier of innovation.
Yeah, so it'll be Cho'Gath top, Fizz mid, and Fizz is going to be up against, and I still think it's going to be Pantheon mid.
Okay, well, that is certainly a possibility at this point. I mean, the only other would be kind of Zed, and if they picked out this combo, then I hope that they do have a plan behind it. I mean, these are all the top teams from the group brackets. We're into the top 32. So these are all teams that have won today, or at least one more than they've lost, because they had to be top 2 in their groups of 4 or 5. Almost the exact same. In fact, the exact same bands comes out there for worth it, because it's definitely worth it to repeat your bands.
Yep. And we will see Graves being replaced there, and look at that. Called it. Tuna Fish is the jungler, and because there's no reason to pick in opposing orders now.
Right.
So, though, if he sticks with Flash Smite, I really don't like that on Olaf. I really prefer the Ghost. Obviously, before level 6, it's not going to be as good. Ghost, that isn't going to be as good as Flash, because if you want to do invading, or if you get invaded, whatever, you want to flash over those walls. But Ghost Ragnarok is basically going to... It's 100% get him into the back line, so and that's where he wants to be.
Yeah, Ragnarok does have that very useful tool, and Ghost really does complement it, but it's going to be a Flash today, so each to their own. We've seen the ups and downs of both, long range versus the longevity of the Ghost, and all right, we'll take that. Cho'Gath, I'm fairly sure will be that top. Fairly sure also AP. I haven't really seen my share of AD or on hit anymore.
No, actually. And I know I always try to relate to some of these things, but my most played champion in Season 3 right now is Cho'Gath, and I played him top lane. Yeah, I recently got switched into the jungle, which is why I kind of have info about it right now. But Cho'Gath, was my main top laner, and he's extremely good. It's good to have him in that top lane, because the extra gold that he gets from being top as opposed to jungle can go towards making his health that he gets from his ultimate effective health, and he becomes one of the best tanks in the game. So that's a really yes. And if you do want to build a little bit of ability power on him, if you get a bit of an advantage early, which isn't hard to do.
It depends on the match. I mean, we've seen. Oh, great! Love that air.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some really aggressive Shakos out there today. We've seen some really passive not Shakos.
Yeah.
Specifics are kind of eluding me. We had a jungle Nunu at one point.
Yes.
Yeah, kind of got walked all over by that Shaco.
Yeah, Shaco is a devastating guy. You don't want to deal with him unless it becomes into the later stages of the game where he's a little bit he's significantly less effective. So actually, hearing me from the from the past there, and in I'm sure what isn't his original language, he does switch to Ghost here, so I really like that choice. He didn't actually hear me, by the way, because we're on delay.
Yeah, we are on delay. It's all good.
So yeah, so switching to Ghost, I really like that play.
Well, a lot of these guys are also still nervous about getting their summoners sniped out, so they'll usually change them at the last moment. It's like, back in the day, it's like, all right, well, he'll revive. Cool. Oh, last minute. Ah, lols.
Yes.
Flash Ignite.
Yeah. So we're going to see what's looking like a... I mean, what do you think? Do you think... I keep trying to figure out who's going to be going up against who here, but in my mind, it's going to be Pantheon mid, Zed top.
I'm just trying to weigh the whole Pantheon versus Fizz, because it's going to be a Fizz mid pretty much no matter what at this point. So Fizz, I mean, what are the advantages of throwing a Pantheon mid? Block, lots of spear harass.
Actually, I think I actually really like Pantheon there, because the one thing, when you think about Fizz in a lane, if you're going up against a Fizz, the first thing you think of is his Playful Trickster.
Yep.
Right? So with Pantheon, you basically spam your spears, and if he Playful Tricksters a spear, that gives you an opportunity to get that Aegis in and jump on him and do a lot more damage to him. And if he Playful Tricksters it and you don't want to be aggressive, you've traded a better mana trade.
Yep.
So...
Yep, mana potions might be coming out here for our mids. Now, we have been seeing our lanes also picking up a lot of wards, a lot of potions right off the bat. 9 potions and 2 wards is pretty typical these days for our tops. Curious to see if we're going to see that for the mid, if we do anticipate kind of a spammy relationship between the two.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's take a quick look. Fizz, middle is the assumption. Runes, ability power, armor, magic pen, armor.
Wow. He's got armor quints. I believe those are armor quints.
Yep. Oh, sorry, armor quints. Yeah, 4/4 and ability power. So 21 armor, knows that no matter what lane he's going into, Zed or Pantheon, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really problematic for...
Takes nothing in defensive, though.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got Runic Affinity. I don't know if he did that on purpose, but...
Usually
yeah, he must have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no other reason to go 9 in unless you want to get Biscuit.
So he wants to hold on to that blue buff. I know he's a spam-happy champion, so...
Well, again, I mean, I've also seen Fizzes do some really hard snowballing at times, and then they're just kind of in control of both or all 4 buffs in some games. So, yeah, I mean, that extra longevity could really go a long way.
Little mana regen for Pantheon. Just a little bit.
A little bit. I used to rock that on Sivir back in the day before she got remade. That way, with the mana regen, you didn't have to kind of build into mana regen, and you could just keep on your toggle for your for your ricochets. It was really fun times.
Yep.
AP with mana. There you go. I mean, that's a very useful... And again, so he has a Runic Affinity as well.
Yeah.
So if the Wrathchild has that, almost the exact same build, or at least mastery-wise, against the Fizz, I will concede the point. It does look like he'll be heading mid.
Actually, I really like the rune page for Pantheon there. I'm kind of mulling it over. It's called his manly page, and I definitely agree that it should be... It is a really manly page.
Yeah.
So who are we looking at here? Zed?
Zed. And he has his Jace build up, so 21-9-0. A lot of health. He had some magic resist, had some armor. It looks like it's just a pretty safe... magic resist at 18 plus static armor and 15 flat damage. So it does look like he's going to be anticipating some magic resist coming in because both Cho'Gath and Ratstar. Wow. Okay, Fizz. Yeah, both of them are very likely to be building into AP. And let's take a quick look at Cho'Gath before we do head on into the game. Move speed, magic resist, and magic penetration.
Anti-AD. Fair enough. And everybody carries magic resist per level. That's just...
Olaf.
Everybody's doing it.
Wow, he's going straight into the tank.
And
has pretty much nothing, not even down to the penetrations.
Huh. Wow. Oh, and he's got a bonus. He's got the legendary armor. Isn't that the right here? Isn't that the mastery that everybody hates? Like nobody likes that mastery unless you're like a Taric or something like that.
Well, for 1 point you get 2%, and then it looks like diminishing returns after that. 2%. I mean, you get yourself 100 armor or 100 magic resist, and 2% will give you 2.
So that's...
Is that worth 1 mastery point?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No, I really don't think so.
Maybe in an ARAM where you can do silly things like stack 300 armor, or your Galio, your Rammus, you have those big armor buffs that you get. Then maybe, 2, 4, 6, it adds up a bit.
Yeah.
But even then,
Actually, I think it only goes to 5.
Well, no, yeah, 5. Sorry, I meant like at the levels of 100, 200, 300.
Oh, yeah.
2, 4, 6. For the Masters, it go 1, 3.5, 5. So 5% at 300 armor would be 15, which is cloth armor.
Yeah. So
very, very distant case, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but then you got to consider the diminishing returns as you get more armor, right? So, oh yeah, there's no. Interesting.
Where's our LoL?
Well, if we have to improvise,
that's not good.
Oh, it's still not there.
Doubly not good. All right.
Well, we might have to go. We might just have to screen region it.
Yeah. Okay. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. That is strange.
Well, we're gonna need that for the other one too. I'm not gonna let you take your time with this.
Okay.
So just looking at these rankings, it's actually kind of funny. I was thinking that the Fizz Pantheon matchup just straight up was going to be the most entertaining for me personally. Just because they are top level players. I noticed that as you were going through the rune pages and whatever. And I really, really like their rune pages. I like them so friggin' much. It's nuts. We got a stressed out.
I think that was what I had it set to.
Here's hoping.
Yeah, we'll find out. Strange. Aber Media failing us.
Yeah.
Do not like.
So how are you enjoying the event so far? You met some good people, I hear, from Twitter?
I don't know. This guy named Frank's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard he was all right.
He shared halls with me. It's all good.
Whoa. I heard he benches like 250. Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't ask me how much I bench. You saw my gleaming muscles and you didn't even ask.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I'm secured in my masculinity. How much do you bench?
Like 250.
Okay, that's pretty decent.
Yeah. It used to be like 285, 290. I used to do competitive weightlifting.
So when people ask you, do you lift? You're just like, duh.
I'm like, yes, I do.
Just like, yes. I don't know. These play IGL guys doing CS:GO. They're pretty intense. Pretty awesome.
I noticed that talking to. Oh yeah, we got some crazy stuff going on. Oh yeah, they gave us a break. So I noticed that, and I noticed that at every event. Talking to casters is so interesting. I don't think you have the curse yet, but I have the curse where I just talk so much when I'm just like after I've casted a game, my mouth just wants to keep going. So like, you know, I've talked to probably like 6 or 7 different casters now, and like we ramble, man. We go on. Wow.
Whatever, I guess I'll go with that.
You're going against the grain, man. You're just not saying anything.
Sorry, no, I'm trying to fix this.
That's fine, I understand.
Not too sure it's easily fixable. I don't remember what I had here.
Oh. That's good. Look at it. That's good. That was good. Man, Forkroyd's brilliant.
It's just a lot of experience, I guess. I'm
actually going to hire Forkroyd after this as my father to teach me everything about life.
Frank.
And he's not that far either.
I am your smoking father. I can't do as Darth Vader, unfortunately.
Why did you leave? Why did you move to Toronto? Mom misses you.
The land of opportunity and equality chose me.
It beckoned you, eh?
No, the land of freedom and equality. That was it.
Oh, look at this. I'm immediately impressed. They paused super quick. Sorry, 7 seconds. Never mind. I'm not that impressed.
Yeah, we already got one guy. 2 buys, actually.
Yeah?
Down. I might as well rearrange this scoreboard.
I feel like their team's going to win strictly because of that.
Alright, so Fizz in the mid. We're saying Pantheon's going to go there. Kog'Maw can go up there. Nunu can come down. They're all talking French. Something about a disconnect. Blah, blah, blah. Frenchy French. Whatever the rest of it was. And here we go.
I feel like some of the people watching are bilingual at the very least.
Well, I'm not. So.
Oh. That's not nice.
It's a very fluid and cursive language. Frenchy French.
Yeah. I tried to learn, I think I told you this, but I have the Rosetta Stone. I've had it for like 2 years for French, specifically because I came to Lan ETS so much and I loved it here. And I was considering maybe moving to like a French-speaking country.
You should. It's a beautiful language.
Yeah, it is.
I took it to grade 12, but I mean, that's almost a decade now past. I am old, son.
I feel like anytime I spoke French, though, I would feel like I was having like sex.
Seizure? Oh,
Yeah, not a seizure. Like sex. It's such an intensely sexual language. I think, anyways. When I hear it, I'm just like, man, that is hot as hell. Like even these dudes next to me, these are sound blocking, so I need it to be because like I have trouble listening to them and keeping a.
is that why you get that distracted face?
It is, man.
Got it. All right, so no real invade action going on, but all the teams just kind of spreading out. We already got some wards down, though. Okay, maybe just the one. Yeah, we haven't actually done anything here from Sona. But, you know, we are going to be keeping an eye on any kind of invade, so it does look like we're trying to secure that blue for Olaf. And, yeah, check it out, Zed top. Good call, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, Pantheon actually had a very long stint going mid lane, and then I think Kha'Zix kind of took over for him, and Jace is in there as well, so... but Pantheon, I think, is still extremely viable, and, you know, we went over the analysis of what could happen, so I really think that's going to be a good way to go.
My question is, where's Fizz going?
Mid? I think mid.
He's making his way top, decided better of it, but... Okay, nothing here for the level 1. Just going to be business as normal, so blue's going to be happening here. A little help coming out as well for Olaf. He should be able to pick up his. Should be smiteless as well. Taking a quick look. Is he actually going to smite? No, he will smite it. Okay. So he's going to smite that. We're going to keep it here for Nocturne, whatever his name is. And he should be able to pick up his red in fairly short order. And Fizz, yeah, going to be here now mid. So we talked about this, you know, a lot of spam going to be coming out of our Pantheon. He went boots 3 pots just in order to kind of keep up with the mobility. He has, of course, his block. So anything that Fizz can do without any kind of follow-up, nice auto attack there, is just going to really kind of fall apart. And we're going to have to see how he can deal with that.
Yeah, you know, I'm really interested because of what I saw with the rune pages and everything about that mid lane, and I'm kind of thinking that until 6, actually even after 6, sorry, actually I think just Fizz in general kind of has a bit of an advantage there. Up in this top lane though, Cho'Gath, you can see getting off to a pretty good start. He's got 10 CS. I almost want to say that that's perfect CS at this point. Yeah, it is perfect CS.
So he's not missed any.
No.
We got a lot of 11s, now 12s coming out as well with the new wave being introduced. You know, with a Cho'Gath, I mean, it's fairly easy to last hit because of your Vorpal spikes. Yep. But do you level up your Vorpal spikes first?
No, actually, a good way to go in lane is you want to take 1 point in your Q, max your W because it's going to be super bursty harass and that silence is brutal. But then you want to max your Vorpal spikes second so that you can have that sustain. And that's what allows him to trade so well those auto attacks with bruisers that are typically seen in top lane.
Now, again, like the differences here in the jungle, Nocturne able to pick up his red and his race by the time that Olaf had finally picked up his. He had to kind of wait for his smite to come back up, so he did the golems. You can see they're kind of missing there. Of course, his health, very big difference between these two junglers, so we might see something coming in from Nocturne a little bit earlier here than Olaf, as I suspect he's going to have to go back to town before anything can happen.
Yeah, definitely. Olaf actually taking his time out there, though. He goes back, all the way back to his wolf camp to clean that up before he heads back. So he's going to have quite a bit of gold here, 22 CS to 17. You can see a pretty major difference. Actually, Nocturne doing the same thing. So Olaf is actually pretty far ahead at this point. He's already back and shopped, whereas Nocturne is just heading over to the wolf camp. Hasn't even started yet.
Well, I mean, at this point, maybe he's just going to be saving up straight for the Madreds. Very common item, at least more on the AD heavy of our junglers. But bottom lane, I'm just keeping an eye out here on the health bars. OG Feeder keeps taking a lot of harass, and that's not a sustained champion, or not a sustained support, and he does not have any pots.
Yeah, he's completely out of it. He's starting that Doran's Blade, which I don't see the appeal in it. I know a lot of pros are doing it. I think that going longsword 2 potions is a really good way to go, but I think Doran's Blade kind of forces you into a spot where you want to go back. Actually, a gank mid happening there. Pantheon almost going down, but the flash is forced away there, and Fizz now looking pretty strong, though he's not got nearly as much mana as Panth.
Yeah, Chobo is still actually here as well. We don't have that flash used out by Rad. Could he actually flash in for the Coral Strike? Doesn't look like he's actually interested in doing it yet. Wave will push, and Nocturne will be on his way. Top lane's doing all right. Check in with bottom. Again, like, the health is just not there for Feeder. He keeps getting poked down. A little bit of a warning coming out as well. He's going to have to head back. Otherwise, he could get potentially dived. Now, as long as he knows that it's not a 6 on that Nocturne, should be all right for now, and it's a little bit too early for that 6, but lots of pressure coming out here from Worth It Institution.
Yeah, and I think what I predicted was going to happen in that top lane is starting to happen. Cho'Gath taking a bit of an advantage, but here comes a gank in this mid lane, and a counter gank as Olaf is there. First blood goes down to the Ignite from Pantheon, and he heads back to lane. Pretty much good to go here. He loses a bit of health, but with 400 still left, that was a very not successful gank attempt there from Worth It Institution.
Yeah, I liked the movement there from Tunafish as well. I mean, there could have been a ward here. I think he actually only went through one of the two, so they weren't entirely too sure what he was doing. Then he comes out around back from behind. Did he get the assist on that? Olaf. Yeah, he did. Okay, yep. So I guess an axe did hit him, and that little bit of extra damage allowed the Ignite to tick down. And first blood to the mid. I mean, what's Wrathchild going to do with that Brutalizer? Yeah, I could have guessed.
Yeah, that's going to be really, really bad for Fizz, who is rolling with a lot of armor, and that's going to be partially negated here by that Brutalizer. Up in top lane, though, it looks like Olaf is being a little bit patient here. You can see no vision for Cho'Gath. He's going to start duking it out, and I can tell you that Cho'Gath feels pretty confident trading at this point. Gets that Rupture onto Zed. Zed silenced as well. He's not going to be able to deal as much damage as he needs to. Olaf goes in, tries to finish up that kill, and he will not do so. Cho'Gath's going to be able to do all right down there. Pantheon, though, speaking of down, jumps on the bottom lane. License gets hopped on there, but the exhaust and the flash from Sona will get her out of there.
Yeah, mission accomplished. Got the flash. Unfortunately, not the kill. And you know, Wrathchild is kind of playing his Pantheon like I would expect more of a TF. Every time you get that ult ready to go, might not be as quick, and it's a little bit more obvious. But I mean, he could easily just visit these side lanes and make something happen. But the same can be said there of Cho'Gath. You know, our Nocturne. As soon as he hits 6, that Paranoia is going to be a very powerful tool.
And you can see Fizz just dove in there to get himself a CS and then Playful Trickster out of there. That is an interesting thing to note. He's got Flask, and he kind of needs it because of how much mana he's expelling, even just farming for himself. Playful Trickster is over the wall just to spot the Golem, because that's not his ward. It's actually the enemy ward that's on that on the blue buff there. So an interesting play, actually. I've never seen somebody do that just to check if their buff was still there.
Yeah, as it says, like, was that a misclick? Not entirely too sure, but hey, Nocturne's going to start it up. Unfortunately, Olaf did kind of run the wrong way. He was here for a bit, but yeah, they're not going to be able to respond to this, so they're kind of going to gather up, but virtually just wasting their time. They're going to look for the kill on top of this Fizz. They are going to be finding him. The Playful Trickster's not up. The Coral, there we go, finally going to be over the wall. No flash being expended. They do have that ward, so they know exactly where he's going. They're saying, Zed, get your butt down here. Wow. Look at that chum. The water is going to be helping him a good bit. Chobo's going to come in with that Paranoia as well, denying the vision. He's going to jump on over, lands it, gets the kill on top of Wrathchild, and there's the Rupture, going to be preventing any kind of escape at this point for the red team as they lose out on that trade. 0-2, and there's the versatility of a Fizz.
There's a Rupture going out. It's on a very short cooldown. Fizz gets in there. Tunafish, I can tell you, wants to kill this fish as he turns tail. And Fizz actually had a really nice play there. Got in, got the damage done, got out very cleanly, and now we're looking at an advantage here for Worth It Institution, 12.2 to 10.4. A really nice turnaround after being down 1-0.
And as I said, you know, I've seen some really, really good Fizzes in my time. They can snowball so hard. Here comes the man drop. Doesn't go for Fizz. Goes for License instead. I'm not even sure if Fizz saw that until the last moment. But Wrathchild using that as a mini teleport.
Yeah, so he gets in there. He's going to be able to clear this lane, and he definitely wants to clear it extremely quickly to get his wave to the enemy tower, though it seems as though he's freezing it. A ward is on that dragon, and sorry, that's a vision ward, so they're going to be able to spot out any other wards. Is it vision or sight that can see everything? I need to know.
Pretty sure it's vision. This won't tell me.
Oh, I'm so sad.
Vision.
Vision. Okay, so vision ward.
You're good. Good job, sir. Red going to be taken here by the Nocturne, business as normal, but we don't have that ult ready to go here for Wrathchild. He's going to go up. Curiously enough, that didn't actually block, which means it didn't really do that much damage in the first place, but everyone's just kind of going to coalesce here at the Dragon. It's going to go to Pantheon, not... Oh, then that sense, of course, Fizz is on the other team. My mistake. I was like, why didn't they give that to Fizz? That didn't make sense.
Well, he's got the Runic Affinity on him as well.
Both of our mids do, yeah.
Yeah. So he's going to have that for quite a while, which is going to help against this push that's coming in right now. Sona, Fizz, and Nocturne right on the front door here. They want that turret to go down, and at the very least, they want to use this slight advantage to get a kill and then line up that dragon fight. There's a great crescendo coming out. Actually, Pantheon doing work there. Picks up that kill onto Sona. Zed's in the fray as well, and this is a really great spot here for Foreskins as they are just dunking character after character here. 3-3 now, the kill count, though still 1,500 in advantage, so you can tell just based on that how the CSing has been going, and a creep actually there to spot out what's happening. Maybe he'll steal the dragon. Let's see what happens.
He's a spy. He's betraying us. We know what you're doing. But yeah, there's not much they can do for this dragon. No, not much they can do. No, I'm gonna stick to that.
Yeah.
One thing I want to note though, back at that fight, our Fizz, he threw out the Chum the Waters, and then we avoided it with the Death Mark. That was pretty skillfully played.
Yeah, that's, I mean, smart stuff from Zed.
Now here's the downside, of course, to going all mid into a dragon. They are going to lose that top tower. Cho'Gath making sure that he's able to recover something out of that mess of a team fight. But 3-3 and a little bit of extra gold, still going to be hanging around here for worth it.
Yeah, actually speaking about hanging around, looks like Cho'Gath hanging around in the wrong part of town right now. Puts a ward down on that red buff, and he decides that Olaf is a good target for him. He can definitely take him at this point. I think a lot of people would be mistaken in thinking that Cho'Gath cannot hold his own in a fight like against a bruiser like Olaf, who it seems really wants to defend his red. He can't do it though against the smite and the nom from Cho, and he gets pulled back a little bit too far there. Piskulu taking that down. And actually, if anybody knows what that word means in English,
Piskulu?
Yeah.
Pisculo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Sounds sexy though.
Yeah. Like all French words do. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could say that for days. Actually, don't say it too much.
Yeah, if you say it too much, it's not that sexy anymore.
Yeah.
Chobo going to jump in on top of Daniel here, and that's going to be a very successful fear tether into the Rupture. License going to be taking the kill, unfortunately. Where's Wrathchild going? I don't know. He's going to go back mid, so again, that mini teleport going to be popping out. But now Fizz and Graves, can they take the kill? Spear did come out. Does not look like they're going to be too interested in doing too much at this point. We got a ping going down on top of License saying, get out of there, girl.
And kind of an interesting thing there. Pantheon dodged the buckshot. I thought that was kind of funny, but they will push down on this tower right now, and Worth It Institution grabbing themselves yet another turret, setting themselves even more in the lead right now. 3,100 for them, and you can see Cho'Gath just doing extremely well for himself. And yeah, he did level up his W for maximum just harass potential and a really nice silence.
Yeah, that gentleman Cho'Gath. Silence! Unfortunately, not today.
Loch Ness.
He's, the Loch Ness. Now, he is going to be doing out these golems, kind of just trying to, at any rate, doesn't successfully do it. Fizz going to be clearing out some of this bottom. Now, Fizz early on got himself a Seeker of the Arm Guard, or Arm Guard Seeker. And, I don't know, I think that's a pretty decent choice. I mean, we got 3 ADs on the table.
Yeah, I think the reason that item was introduced was so that you can put up with the bruisers that go mid lane. Fizz had the right rune page going into this, and he just needed to see what he was going to go up against, whether it was going to be Zed or Pantheon, and I think either one actually. Going for that arm guard's a very smart way to go. He's got a lot of extra armor now.
Yeah, and with that Seekers, again, something that we don't have for the Team Foreskins is an abundance of magic damage, and I don't count the absolute zero as really anything to kind of depend upon when push comes to shove. I pray to Nick Cage. Oh god, more Nick Cage fanboys. But they're going to be warding out this dragon. They do know it's down, because they did take it earlier. It's going to be a few more minutes until it's back up. Cho'Gath, though, he did head on home. He got himself a nice Rod of Ages, but on top of things, a giant spell. So look at his hit points just explode.
Yeah, he's getting way up there right now. What level is this Cho'Gath at? So he's level 11, so he just got
3,000 health at level 11, sir.
No big deal.
No,
no big deal, man.
I bench 250, no big deal, yeah.
Actually, when I say 250 now, I actually get really sad because I'm like, it's am I getting old? I can't bench 290 now? Am I getting old?
Oh man, okay, we're done with that topic. But the cleaver here on Wrathchild, I mean, he did get himself a nice first blood and all that, 2-1. And but that's about as far as he's really gone. But oh my god, Flash is going into Flashes. Daniel into the meat grinder, went absolutely nuts. The Chum the Waters come out. Earth, unfortunately, no meal for him. as it was already taken away from him. But, I mean, free kill, I mean, that could lead into a free tower.
It's true. They are sticking around here. Pantheon just went and healed himself back up, so he's going to be ready to try to defend this. And I have to say, Pantheon does a great job at defending towers like this if he can get a full channel on that E. And speaking of channeling, though, he channels his ultimate in the middle of the enemy team here. I don't know if I like this so much. There's the nom from Cho'Gath going to, excuse me, pick up the kill on Pantheon. In we go, crescendo landing onto 3 characters. That's a perfect crescendo. Pushing forward, the silence, the ignite. Nunu goes down, and Olaf will get himself dunked as well. I'm going to clean up the mess that I made here on my buddy Forecourt. I'm spitting all over the place, getting way too into these fights.
Wow, it looks like Kog'Maw actually took a double kill there with his death blow, but Zed not able to pick up the rest of Cho'Gath. That let the rest of the team here from Worth It take the tower. 4 towers to 0, and they're up 10-5. It puts them about 5,000 gold ahead of Team Foreskin. And, you know, that early game play by Fizz has snowballed very nicely for them all.
Yeah, it's definitely working out in their advantage, and he will pick up the enemy blue buff as well. It's not going to be too bad because Pantheon, you know, you're starting to build up your mana pool just because you're leveling up. It's going to build up a little bit higher for yourself. Is failing a playful trickster there, interestingly enough. He's going to go back, but yeah, this is starting to get a little bit out of hand here. Worthy Institution is really pulling forward in this one. 5 to 10, 25,000 to 20,000.
Now, one thing that I did notice is that last fight, Rastout here jumped on top of Chobo. And that's not Chobo. This is... Why isn't that Chobo? That's Chobo. This camera, oh my god. He jumped on top of Chobo. And Chobo took absolutely no damage from the drop. Because the drop, the closer you are to the center, you take more damage.
Yes.
Spell shielded it.
Yeah.
And then he got off his goo, which his name escapes me, the stuff of nightmares, and then then Pantheon died. Didn't even need to use the fear tether, and that was something I think that was a big problem for Pantheon. He was really counting on that big damage when he came down. Unfortunately, he did not find the squishy targets.
Yep, and actually, speaking of squishy targets right now, Tuna Fish is a little bit too squishy. Gets completely nuked out there. Grace picks up that kill, and Nunu in the background there, dropping so quickly. This is absolutely ridiculous. The roll forward here, Kog'Maw passive, not going to be too effective there. He's going to die off in that brush, and Pantheon gets the great escape off. He did an ultimate. No, he didn't. Okay.
I was wondering that myself.
The ultimate non-manly drop.
It's like, Spartans, retreat!
Retreat.
And you know that just doesn't happen.
No.
300 has taught us a lot.
Yes.
Rest in peace, Leonidas. But no, I mean, you're absolutely right. That was a pretty ridiculous fight. They just were able to get into the back line. There was no safe place for the Kog'Maw. He goes down. Tuna Fish, as you said, not exactly the tankiest at this point. Look at his... He has a health crystal. He has 1,500 hit points at 18.5 minutes in. That's not the tanky place you want to be. Comparatively, you know, the big lobster dinosaur here is sitting at over double that.
Yeah, and actually the one you want to be looking at is, oh no, in comes another gank. Rupture goes off. This is going to be one dead Pantheon, but he picks up a kill on the Sona, so not too bad of an exchange. But yeah, the one you want to compare it to though is the Nocturne, who is pretty much in the same position. He's got that Sunfire cape on top of, you know, just the one Ruby Crystal. Like, come on.
I mean, even Nocturne at this point has himself a Sunfire cape, and he's rocking more hit points than our, quote, Tuna Fish. And, you know, I mean, finally a Giant's Belt comes out. A little late, but better late than never. Now he's up to the 1,800 mark, but it is low comparatively.
Yeah. And actually, if I always think about who's the MVP of the game, look at Nocturne's assists, and then look at his team's kills. 14 assists to 15 kills. Yep. So he wasn't part of one. I don't know where that took place, but I'm sure that he's got to be, you know, really reeling and beating on himself for not being there for that kill. But yeah, 14 assists, man. This guy is just steamrolling this game.
Yeah, both him and Cho'Gath so far sitting nice and pretty at the immortal stage of life, as they have lots of kills, lots of assists, and no deaths to their name. OG Feeder, sadly, is not going to be part of the man drop on top of things. Can the man drop actually get canceled?
Yeah. Stops himself.
Oh, man, and somewhere along the line, we actually had another kill there in the jungle. Cho'Gath able to take that one. No man drop. It does look like, you know, Kog'Maw's passive not yielding any fruit here either.
No, and Cho'Gath now working himself up to those 6 stacks. He's not quite level 16, so he's not as big no pun intended, as he could be. So he's not got as much health, but 9-0-7, and he's just building 100% tanky. And like I said, he's got that little bit of ability power in that Rod of Ages because he took the advantage in lane, and now he's just steamrolling forward. Another kill going down there on the Nunu. Olaf's pushing top lane right now. Fizz is going to go ahead and defend that, but this is looking like an inhibitor is going to slowly get chipped away at here.
Man, we just had Feeder actually revive. Now he's in danger of going down yet again. Here comes the man drop, forcing out the flash, and the 20-minute surrender. No, my mouse not bring up the 20-minute surrender. I wanted to watch him die. Unfortunately, I'm going to get one of them. Yeah. This mouse is very sensitive.
Yeah, it's extremely sensitive.
I was like, why are we going back to the Nexus? Because my mouse. It is great. Thank you. Who made this? Rapid Fire. Thanks, Rapid. Mad Cats. Thanks, Mad Cats. Thanks, Wrathchild.
Actually, that's interesting. I didn't know that they made that mouse.
Yeah, it's a really cool mouse. Either way, yeah. Pantheon's now cooling on ice. Dead again. Poor Pantheon. 3, 4, and 2. Better than the 0-6 Z and the 0-4 Nunu.
Yeah, Nunu's just getting completely dunked on. I haven't seen him be effective in a team fight in I don't know how long. 12,000 Goldie advantage of 21 minutes into this game. Not too bad. You can see Crux Bonder just unloading on this Kog'Maw. He gets dropped by the Nocturne ultimate. And these guys have just been sitting in this base, kind of refreshing who's the fresh guy. So Nocturne came in, that allowed for Cho'Gath to back out, and they've just been slow, like just working their way around in a cycle. And I think everybody has a shift next, though. They're all going to group back up here after they go and shop.
It's like a meat grinder, fresh off the boat. Yeah. It's just like lemmings. They just kind of go off the boat into the meat grinder.
Yeah.
And that's how you bought pork sausages back in the day, folks. Piscotto, what are you doing, bro? He's going to come back to the lane with what looks like a Wit's End in development. Has a Sunfire cape. He's rocking 3,800 hit points and 157 armor to boot. He's in a good spot.
Yeah. I really don't agree with Wit's End, but I mean, you're 10-0-10, whatever, right? It doesn't really matter. Wit's End, I think you can grab while you're in lane, but when the later stages of the game comes, that's going to mean less and less, and you can't really get too much done with it with all the CC that comes in late game as well. With
man, oh man. That burst. Oh, Piscotto going to be going 2-on-1. Gets himself a kill. In danger of going down. The flash comes out. The heal. Where's the crescendo? Where was the crescendo? It was up. She didn't use it. I think she sacrificed Cho'Gath to the gods so that they may advance to the next stage of the tournament.
Yeah, really. So down goes Cho'Gath. That's one of something that they can stick in their pocket here for foreskins. But I don't know, man. We've got an inhibitor down, an inhibitor turret going down. Now there's only 2 turrets left in the game for foreskins, and I don't know how well they're going to be able to defend this against 3 downed inhibitors. Top one about to go down relatively soon with Graves pounding away on it, and the push that's coming in here. No Baron down yet. I don't think they need it. They're just going to go ahead and continue in on this.
Could be a potentially dead Nunu. Lots of damage. There's the crescendo. Forces the cleanse out of OG Feeder. I see you shaking your head. Danyu, not the best place for him to be right now. Double kill comes out for Graves. Wrathchild, not entirely too sure who he wants to go, but he flashes over, gets the stun, and dies in a blaze of glory, as all Spartans should. And Ratstar goes pretty much legendary at 6-2-10. 1-0-18 on that Nocturne, though. And as you said, where'd he go wrong? All of a sudden, he's not been part of 10 kills. Oh. OG Feeder goes down in base. I think we were looking for a laser dive for style points. And yet again, our French casters are kind of shaking their heads like, wow. What a game.
Yeah, kind of silly.
What a game.
At least, though, we're doubling the number, so it's a little bit more exciting. It's not 15-something anymore.
It's not 15-2, it's 30-7. So the deeper we get into this tournament, the more and more kills everyone is bringing around. Say hi. Thank you. We can now eat, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
Yay!
But we do have more of, I think, the top 32, if not the top 16. I'm not entirely too sure if we're going to go straight into the next bracket. There's a lot of teams and a lot of organization going into it. The admins are very hard at work, but we will have an update for you in a few moments. Stop counting your chickens.
Sorry,
before they
I'm
hatch.
so interested with what this is. It's the coolest thing.
It is food, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah, food's
all
good.
you need to know.
Dude, I eat all day. I don't know if you noticed that, but while we were sitting here,
like you've been sipping on honey.
Yeah.
Show everyone your honey.
Yeah, so I've been drinking this.
Literally, it's a jar of honey.
Yeah. So I've gone through that. I had half of a baguette. The baguette was like, hold on, it was like this long, and I had
large rod.
Yeah. Seriously, everything needs to match.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So I had half a baguette.
Yep.
With some cream cheese.
I saw that.
On top of the meal that I had for lunch.
Right.
And then I had,
which was like a gumbo.
Yeah. And rice.
And
then I had 2 bananas
Yep.
and an orange.
all that honey.
And all the honey and Halls, if you can count that.
Nah, you don't count Halls.
Okay.
Now, in contrast, this is what I've been eating.
We both find ways to get fat.
But I had a salad for lunch.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So shut up. All right, we'll get you an update in a few moments here, guys. Don't go anywhere. Lan ETS, All Montreal will continue.